In the heart of Oakwood Town stood the Better Business Bureau BBB, a modest but vital office where residents brought their complaints about businesses. It was managed by Miss Clara Finch, a sharp and no-nonsense investigator known for her fairness and wit. One Monday morning, flustered Mr. Percy Puddles burst into the office. He was the owner of a small bakery called Puddles Pastries, and his face was redder than a cherry tart. "I need help," he cried. "Someone left a bad review online, saying I yelled at them and ruined their day." "That's not true. I'm always sweet as sugar." Miss Finch tilted her glasses and motioned for him to sit. "Calm down, Mr. Puddles. Let's figure this out. Did they leave their name?" Percy nodded. "Yes, it was Mrs. Gertrude Gables. She said I refused to refund her for a burnt pie. But I'd never sell a burnt pie." Clara jotted notes and said, "We'll investigate. Sit tight, Percy." The first stop was Gertrude's house. Mrs. Gables, a stern but chatty old woman, greeted Clara at the door. "That man insulted me," she huffed. "He called my taste buds broken and refused to refund me." Clara raised an eyebrow. "Do you have the pie?" Mrs. Gables brought out the evidence. A perfectly golden, delicious-smelling pie. "See," she said. "It's as hard as a rock." Clara inspected it. The pie looked fine, but felt unusually stiff. She took a tiny bite and immediately recognized the issue. "Thank you, Mrs. Gables," Clara said. "We'll get to the bottom of this." Next, Clara returned to Puddles Pastries. "Percy, your pie had too much flour. That's why it turned out tough." Percy gasped. "Too much flour? But I followed my recipe perfectly." "Do you have any employees?" Clara asked. Percy nodded. "Just Harry, my apprentice. He's still learning." As if on cue, Harry, a young and nervous baker, walked in carrying a sack of flour. "Hi, boss. I found the cheap flour you told me about." "Cheap flour?" Percy repeated, puzzled. Harry explained. "I bought it from a traveling salesman. It was half the price." Clara examined the sack. "This isn't baking flour, Harry. It's industrial flour used for thickening glue." Both Percy and Harry turned pale. "Let's fix this," Clara said. "Apologize to Mrs. Gables, refund her pie, and explain the mistake. And Harry, no more bargain hunting without checking labels." Percy and Harry followed Clara's advice. Mrs. Gables accepted their apology and even laughed when she heard about the blue flour. The BBB posted a resolution online. Puddles Pastries resolves pie issue with sincerity and a promise to improve. From then on, Percy's bakery became even more popular, thanks to his honesty and a little help from the Better Business Bureau.